Yo, what's up everyone, and welcome to my Soul Feast Warlock endgame guide for the Imperial Uprising event, with the ability to dish out insane amounts of necrotic damage over time. High health enemies like timeline bosses and the new Harbringers just melt away, which makes these boss fight encounters super fun. Several layers of defense to be almost immortal consist of up to 7k ward, Life Leech with dots, almost 60% endurance, and critical strike avoidance in my Empowered Monolith farming setup. With that being said, let's get started. Skills here, so I run Spirit Plague. That's the first dot, that's a curse. Then I have Gin Tonic here. This can proc a bunch of things and can also curse. This is how I make use of all those curses. So Soul Feast is my nuke button here. Can proc a triple Soul Feast and has a chance to deal double damage, so this can result in big nukes. And Profane Whale, because in more difficult content I need another panic button. This is a really good one. So the idea is I dot everything up and then I press Profane Whale. For movement I have Transplant, it's like a little teleport. What I try to do right now is push the corruption so I can kill the new next Harbringer. I killed. So starting out with the skills here, the first one is Spirit Plague. The way I've set it up is, first of all, it's a curse, so it's super important in order to press Soul Feast in the first place. And because of Pestilence, it says again global damage for everything else I cast after this. Other than that, it gives me ward. This dot can jump over to other mobs when I hit infected monsters and so on. It's cast in an area, not just on a single mob. Really fun leveling with this as well, but the clue about this ability is it procs Chaos Bolts, and the Chaos Bolts proc Rip Blood. And they hit the monsters with Damned and deals damage over time. This one, Chaotic Rupture, that's which says it procs the Chaos Bolts. Yeah, proccing the things from Gin Tonic. The bolts can also apply a curse. It's just curse on top of curse on top of curse. But in reality, I only press one button. Here, this one is important, the Damned chance. And yeah, Rip Blood, just another effect that gets procced by casting Ketonic Fissure. Now, Soul Feast. This ability is insane. Don't get fooled by the low damage number here. With certain things within the skill tree, this gets multiplied by so much. It gives what? The way I've set it up in the passive skill tree, it gives HP. It's basically a spell vampire build at this point, but yeah, Soul Feast is GG. This one is important, Infernal Hunger, that's how you get the triple proc. This counts up to 3. It gives mana back against bosses in boss fights, that's really nice. I use a spell wand, most importantly for the minus spell mana cost, helps with spamming. And yeah, just dump a bunch of DPS mods on there, Necrotic Spell, Necrotic Pen. My chess piece, 4 to Soul Feast and 144 increased spell damage, which is just nuts. And the plus skills are super important to reach all the good nodes. Quite similar to the Helm. 3 to Chaos Bolt here and an insane amount of spell damage. Preferably health everywhere. As I mentioned in the intro, this build is crit capped. I still have to work a little bit on my resistances, but fun fact, this new boss I fought in the intro, I fought with 0 Void Res, and this guy is dealing mostly Void damage. My offhand here is a Crystal Skull for the double spell crit and almost 100 spell damage. I think the scale is a little bit better than necrotic damage. To have at least some res, this one. Again, necrotic, spell crit. My rings here, int, and preferably the right ring base. So it should say increase cooldown recovery and all attributes and int on it. The gloves, which I also had to replace. I was using the full Isadora set before, but it's not endgame viable. I sacrificed way too much by wearing the set. And eventually, the latest in Empowered and fighting the new bosses, I want to have a nice defense layer in form of endurance and so on. So I run those. Hybrid health, cast speed. Those are the important stats. Health, cast speed, flat spell damage. The way I cap out on crit avoidance is with these boots here. They almost give 50%. Then I have some more on the ring. And my remaining percent here are from the idols, from the blessing. I'm using the class relic called Ambitions of an Erased Acolyte just for the plus skill. Nice endurance, and I was lucky to get a crit multiplier here. Speaking of the idols, I run the following. Chance to apply damned on hit. I see between 40 to 60 damned stacks on a boss. This one is nice, mana efficiency with Soul Feast and chance to gain Wither stacks. This one is nice, I found it just recently. Increased health in percent and ward retention. I use the following passive skill tree as of right now to farm Corruption 100 and to push further to unlock the new bosses. So I have 20 in the base class here, Acolyte for a little bit ward and int. My Warlock passive skill tree looks like the following. So I unlocked some effects here to gain access to ward and have more int. Then I maxed out Spirit Leech, so this is like a almost like a spell vampire build at this point. A portion of the damage you do is returned to you as health over 3 seconds. Everything is dotted up. I have this insane nuke button which can triple stack and has a chance to deal double damage. So this is a really strong passive here. This one is good, Wither. So has a chance to apply Wither on hit. Soul Feast also applies Wither stacks and it's less damage taken from withered enemies. Maxing out this one for int and vitality. I have 8 out of 8 Chains of Ruin here for the damned chance. Those are the stacks that deal damage over time. When a certain amount is reached, in this case 20, monsters get chained down. So this is a really strong crowd control effect. I maxed out Chaotic Strikes. It's a chance to deal double damage. Even more chance per curse on the enemy. I will not do the math, but this procs Soul Feast procs this all the time. To have it even more ridiculous, I have 3 points into Wreak Havoc here to make this scale with crit multi. I have 2 into this for the Anguish proc to unlock Duskbringer. Anguish is just another curse and it makes monsters deal 50% less damage over time to me, and also it helps with clear speed. Maybe as a conclusion for this build and for the video, this Soul Feast Warlock is incredibly strong and fun to play. It is also a very self-found friendly setup because I'm on the bazaar side, but I rarely had to buy any gear. The playstyle is very forgiving. After everything is dotted up, we can focus on dodging things. The only downside is it's not a one button build. I actively have to use 3 buttons in my rotation to build up ward and stay alive. Thanks for watching, give the video a like and let me know what you think in the comments below. Have a nice day, guys.